Hi my lovelies, welcome to the Goddess Enchantments channel. My name is Claire and today we're going to be doing an oracle card review. So I hope you are all well. If you are new here, welcome. If you enjoy this video, I would love it if you would subscribe and join the GE family here on YouTube. Don't forget to click the bell so you'll be notified of any upcoming videos, and do give this video a thumbs up and leave me a comment down below. I try to respond to as many as humanly possible. So, a little update on what's been going on over here. Mostly, we have just been super duper busy. So, I am so sorry. I've been neglecting our YouTube family because it's been so busy over in our Facebook group. If you want to come over and join, by the way, all the details for the Facebook group, the website, the academy, everything is in the drop down under the title of this video. But I'm over in that group pretty much every day, and we just had a big crystal event over there where some incredible pieces found homes. I still have a few sitting around me because we charge some at the full moon before they're being packed up to go out. Happy Maybon as well. My gosh, the wheel has turned once again. We have an incredible release this weekend that I'm very excited about over in the group and on the website. Our 12 Days of Yule calendar is going to be released for pre-orders. I can't wait. We did it for the first time last year and it was so popular. We've had so many messages asking, are we doing it again this year? We are. Everything in it is handmade, nothing from wholesalers. There's a little video that goes with each. If you're like, oh, what are you talking about? You can come over, join the group, type in 12 Days of Yule and see all of last year's videos and calendar, and at the end you get a crystal treasure that is intuitively picked by hand by me on a day dedicated at our supplier. It's so much fun, and you get gorgeous beauties like this at the end of your advent calendar, not tumblestones or palm stones like a lot of the ones out there. So I'm super excited to release that. I think that's really it on sort of GE updates and why I've not been about on YouTube as much as I would love to. I am live over in groups. If you do miss me, come over and say hi. So let's get on with this review. Firstly, I think very appropriate for us with where we are on the wheel. So you can see all these cards in super detail, and I'm not sort of going in and going out and all of that stuff. I'm going to go to downward facing and we are going to take a look at this deck together. Okay, so our focus for this video is going to be the Seasons of the Witch Samhain Oracle, which is by Lorraine Anderson and Juliet Diaz. It is a 44 card deck with guidebook, and it comes in a tough box. It's from Rockpool, so it's their standard box that you would expect with any of their prints, but nice nevertheless, especially if you want to keep your cards in it, or if you're someone that's an intuitive reader like myself that puts the books in here and then stores them aside. So if we go inside the box, red inside with a moon there. So that's our box. Now, this is actually apparently going to be a set, and they are making a deck for each of the Sabbats. So currently available is Samhain and Yule, and there's also a pre-order for one other Sabbat, but I can't remember off the top of my head what it is, but you can find it on Amazon. I wasn't actually drawn to them for that purpose. I specifically wanted a deck to work with for shadow work, and that was going to be completely dedicated to the energy of Samhain, the vow thinning, working with my spirit guides, ancestral healing, because there's not many decks on the market that are truly dedicated to the energy of this time of year, and it's a time when we're doing a lot of spiritual work, a lot of spiritual healing. So that's what drew me in, but you may be looking at it and wanting a deck for each of the Sabbats and loving that idea energetically. So let's take a look at the deck first and pop the book aside. So standard oracle card size. The sides are gilded with a beautiful red, and there's glitter in there as well. I don't know how well the camera will pick that up. It's very beautiful. Because it's rock pool, it's slightly thinner card stock, so I have noticed them already getting a little bit dinged on the side, so something to note, and you may want to do a slightly more gentle shuffle with these cards. Now on the back here, I love the imagery. It's already helping you drop into that energy of Samhain. We have the hands here with the roots. Now that could represent many things. It could represent your connection to your ancestors' bones. It could represent spirit guides, connection to earth or source energy. There's pentagrams representing protection, the 5 elements. We have the moon here and a beautiful red and burgundy back. So just the back alone is setting the tone for the deck and the types of readings you might choose to do with it. So if we take a look at the cards. Now the setup of the card is you have your image, obviously. You then have the image's title. You have the image's number that corresponds to its place in your book. And then you have sort of a little poem or rhyming few sentences. Now, depending on who you are watching this, some of the things with this deck are going to be pros, some are going to be cons, and I think it does divide a little. Some people are going to love this deck, some people it may not call to them. Now, I'm an intuitive reader, so I prefer to have as little wording on the actual cards themselves as possible. However, I have been intuitively reading for years now, so I can blank that out, and honestly, I pay little attention to it. But to give you an example, obviously card 1 is All Hallows Eve, and it says, call upon the voices that stir your senses through the night. Cast an unforgiven howl as you stomp your might through the ground. So if you're someone who likes to have words on your cards, who likes to use a guidebook, then this might be an extra piece of the puzzle for you, energetically helping you drop in with the cards themselves. So it's either going to be a plus for you or a con. Okay, so next is your altar card. Nice rich imagery. There's lots to see on here if you are an intuitive reader. If you're not an intuitive reader, then you've got beautiful imagery. You've got your words as well. So there's something for everyone. Ancestors. Apples. Banshee. Now, of course, being a Samhain oracle, these are all going to be darker cards, if you like, because they are dropping you into that energy, and the energy of Samhain is both the witch's new year, the start of a new will, but also a time that we honor our ancestors, that we do ancestral healing, that we do our shadow work for healing for us and our line going forward and back. So it's a very powerful time for anyone on a spiritual path, a magical practitioner. Cauldron, coming of winter. I love this one, crystals and herbs. It isn't my normal type of imagery. If you've been a subscriber here for a while, you're probably going to notice that straight away. It's not the kind of art I usually go for, but I find that I've really connected in with this deck easily. Dark moon. Divination. Oh, hang on, I'm skipping. Elders. The elements. Frog. Graveyard. Greet the darkness. Grief. Haunted. healer, intuition, journey, mischief, nature spirits, owl, potions and spells. Now with this deck, something else that I wanted to mention is I've had a lot of success with using these as spell cards as well. So I have been using them as an oracle deck with numerous spreads, and I will be using this deck throughout the shadow period and all through Samhain and with my students. But when I'm doing ritual work, especially connected to any of these energy streams, and that's going to be more as the time goes on and we get closer to October, I have been pulling out these cards and using them as focuses. So some of them focus for journey. Some of them focus for actually doing ritual work depending on the card, and they have worked brilliantly for it. So if you wanted to do some protection work around Samhain, you could pull out the protection card and stand it on your altar in a tarot card holder. I love using cards as focuses, as ways to help you drop into journey and to add an additional layer of energy to your spell work. It really helps you to connect in. Now, I think it's worth mentioning as well that there's no men in this deck, so it may or may not appeal to everyone depending on if you want a fully feminine deck like this. I'm hoping in the future decks that there will be some more, you know, diversity in there. Witch and wolf. So that is your 44 cards, and like I said, I've had great success using them in my oracle card readings, but also working with the cards alone for journey and ritual purposes. So when it comes to our book is a nice thick book here. Now, on the whole, you guys know I'm not a huge fan of books. I'm just like, all right, I'm not really too interested. But this one does have a difference that I quite like. So you've got the normal blurb, the authors, the illustrator, introductions, about the cards, and then we get to the card spreads. Now, in the majority of tarot and oracle card books, you get a couple of spreads. You get a 3-card spread, you might get a 4-card spread, maybe a slightly larger spread, usually just a couple, 3 maximum. And they're not always to do with the deck itself. They're very much generic spreads put in there for those that are beginning. However, the spreads in here have really been curated and crafted for this deck and for the energy that you would be working with the deck. So I've really appreciated that. I love trying out other people's spreads. So obviously you have your 3-card spread. Then we go into the custom ones. So Interview Your Deck spread, Graveyard spread, the Spiritual Council spread. I like this one, Connecting with Your Guides. So card 1, what do my ancestors and guides want me to know? Card 2, why are they telling me this? Card 3, how can I better receive their guidance? Reclaiming My Power spread, Rotten Apple spread, Transformation, Weekly Outlook, Witch's Tools, Moon Phases, the Shadow spread. So if you are using these cards for your shadow work, you could try out this spread. Card 1, what is the state of my shadow right now? 2, what is my current relationship with my shadow? 3, how can I build a better relationship with my shadow? 4, what can I learn from my shadow? And 5, what do I need to forgive my shadow about? So some really wonderful spreads for us to work with. So a nice lot of spreads. Then we move into our cards. Now, this is, like I said earlier, this is going to be one of those things that you're either going to really like, not be bothered about, or it's going to be something that might put you off. It really does depend. Everyone's so unique with their decks, which is why I find reviews so helpful. Now, you get obviously your image of the card. You then get some keywords. You get a repeat of the wording of the card here in the book. Now, each card is, if we have another look, so we've got All Hallows Eve, we've got Altar. These are all different spiritual, either tools, workings, you know, working with our ancestors. They're different facets of spirituality and work at this time. And in the book, you get an explanation of what the card is. So on All Hallows Eve, you get an explanation of Samhain, which comes all the way down to here. Now, your actual message, if you have pulled this card, begins here and has here, and then you have a reversed meaning. The same if we go on to the altar card, keywords, your little poem words. Then we turn over, we have information all about the altar for the first couple paragraphs, and then we go into the meaning of the message here. So if you're someone who really likes a detailed book with really long messages for you to dive into, then that may be a negative for you. But if you're someone that wants to learn more, that's perhaps newer to their path and would like some extra information on the specifics of altars and tools and working with guides, then you've got that extra information. And like I said, the reverse card meanings are here. And it's the same for all of them until you get to the end. There's no blank papers at the end for notes or anything. It's just last card and the end of the book. So that is the Seasons of the Witch Samhain Oracle. So I feel for me this is a really, really great deck I'm going to love working with through the coming sort of 2 months really, with my shadow work, with Samhain energies and all of the healing work that I have planned. After that, it will probably go away. I don't think this is a deck that I would keep out. I don't think it's really designed for that, which is why they are doing all of the different Sabbats. I don't know yet if I'm going to purchase all of those, because for me, I don't feel I need a specific deck for each Sabbat and their energy. I'm not sure what it would bring compared to my other tarot and oracle decks, and I've got quite a big collection at this point. But this was definitely something missing in my collection. So for you, obviously, you might not have that many decks. You might like the idea of the Wheel of the Year cards. I think it's going to be great to watch the rest of them come out and have a look at the art on them and how it changes with the seasons and how the imagery changes. I think that everyone really can take something from these cards, whether it be using it in your ritual practice, as an oracle deck, as a learning tool if you're newer to your path and newer to divination. There's really something here for everyone. So I do think it's a great deck. There are a few things that for me personally, you know, like the wording I'd rather not there, but it doesn't take anything away from it. I'm thoroughly enjoying working with it and experiencing the energy of the cards in the deck. So I really hope you have enjoyed this look through of the Samhain Oracle. Let me know down below if you have this deck, if you plan to get the deck, if you're going to be getting the Yule deck and you're excited about the having a deck for every Sabbat. If I do get the other decks, then I will obviously review them for you. Let me know down below if that's something you would like me to do. Before I go, I know I'm going to get asked about the altar cloth. I'm always asked about my altar cloths, and usually they're ones that have been in my collection for a very long time, and I have to keep saying, sorry, I don't know where you can get that now. These ones are available on our website if you love these altar cloths. But if you would like to learn about altar cloths, I've just put a posting group all about what they are, what they mean, and how to work with them. So I will speak to you all very soon, my lovelies. Have a wonderful Mabon. Enjoy Samhain. I love Samhain myself, so I'm going to personally be posting lots of Samhain content over in the group. But that is it from me. Blessed be.